Maureen. I know lots of you, just like me, are very grateful to have someone as amazing as Maureen as the program coordinator for BC Lung. And I'm also very grateful to be here with you. So, welcome. Happy September. Happy fall. Missed you guys over the summer break, and I hope you enjoyed your time. Can everyone see me head to toe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent.
Perfect.
So just
But you
some
can
quick reminders, team. Safety-wise, we want to have a nice clear space around us to exercise in, so nothing to step on or trip over. I've got a small weight to my side and a stretchy band. If you have a stretchy band, you're welcome to use it. If you don't, that's okay. You can just do the movements along with us when we get to those points. And you don't have to have a specific weight. You can use anything. I know some people use their water bottle. Some people use a rolling pin. So it's really up to what you have available to you. We want a nice sturdy chair, right? No rolly chairs here because they can move on you. And then we want to be in bare feet or having some sturdy shoes on. Again, we've got good footwear on for good balance, and it's not going to trip us up as much. Okay. And the last thing is this is your exercise class. You go at your pace. Some of you are going to be doing most of the class standing and you have more energy to work harder. Some of you are going to do the whole thing seated and maybe only do half of the movements we do. That's okay. This class is for all of you. Make it challenging, but doable for yourself. Okay, so let's start by getting into our breathing pattern because we're going to refer back to that a lot. I'm just going to place a hand on my belly because it helps me cue. We're going to breathe in and fill up our belly rather than our chest. And then we're going to exhale through pursed lips, like we're breathing out through a straw. Once again, we're going to breathe in, fill up the belly, breathe out through a straw. Again, breathe in, fill up the belly, breathe out through a straw. Once more, breathe in and out. And I'd like you to continue that pattern as we start to move. So again, please continue breathing in, breathe out, same pattern, same slowness. And we're just going to add in lifting our arm as we breathe in and lowering the arm down as we breathe out. Okay, so again, we breathe in, raise the arm just where you can. If a straight arm is sore, bend the elbow, and breathing out to lower the arm back down. Once more on each side. Breathe in, lift the arm up, try to get a little bit of a stretch through the chest. Breathe out to bring that arm back down. Last one. Breathe in and lift the arm. Breathe out to lower back down. Brilliant. Okay, now what we're going to do is have our palms up, elbows tucked in. We're going to breathe in as we pull apart our hands, creating this W, not out here. A little bit of rotation. Breathing out to bring the hands back in. Breathe in, rotate those hands out to the side. Breathe out to bring them back in. Breathe in, rotate out, create that W. Breathe out to bring them in. Two more like this. Breathe in and out. Good. And last one, breathe in and breathe out. Brilliant. Okay, let's start rolling one shoulder back at a time. We're still going to think about that breathing pattern because as we start to move more and more, it can be more challenging to maintain that pattern, but you're going to have a lot more success in your exercise today if you really think about, especially the exhale piece of breathing out through pursed lips. Okay, let's start making the circles a little bit bigger. Just got my thumbs to shoulder so I can circle the elbows back one at a time. Again, we're purposefully breathing here a little bit more deeply than you might think while starting some movement. All right. 3, 2, and 1. You can shake out your arms. Now with our feet, I'm just going to ask us to step 1 foot forward at a time. And the consideration I want you to have here is not allowing your upper body to move as we step that foot out. So I don't want any rocking. Can we try to balance in our seat as we step a foot forward? So again, 1 foot steps forward at a time. If you tend to have a really sore back, just be careful with how far you reach that foot, because your back might not be ready for that bigger stretch. It might need a smaller step to work up to. Okay, so again, we're finding that challenging but doable range. All right, so you might feel some tightening around your belly. That's great. We're keeping that core tight to help us keep our balance here. And we're stepping for 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to take our hands and we're going to reach our arms out as wide as you can. How big was the fish? And then bring your arms back in to give yourself a light hug. Open and close. Open and close. Once again, we're thinking about sitting up tall. I'd encourage you to not have your back against your backrest if you can. So that's going to encourage your core to have to work harder. Again, we now have to balance in our seats. And again, you can be seated or do this standing. If you're going to choose to do any exercises standing today, just have something within grabbing distance. Because with focusing on what I'm saying and focusing on the movement, sometimes we forget to focus on our balance too. So always just want something there just in case. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, you can relax the arms. Now we're going to open up our hip to step out to the side, bring it back close, and then switch. Open up the hip, bring it back close. Again, we're just starting to warm up our body. We don't want to be working intensely right now. We're starting some movements, a light little bit of a stretch, and signaling to our body, hey, get ready. We're going to be working hard soon. So again, go at your own pace. Maintain your breathing pattern as best you can. Make sure we're still breathing out through pursed lips. Brilliant. All right, we'll do a couple more steps and then we'll start to slowly increase the challenge. Some of you may remember this is usually the about time of class that we start doing some coordination type exercises, or as some of you call them, confusion exercises. And rest your feet. Okay. So again, as part of our warm-up, we're going to push one hand forwards and back. So one hand is just pushing forwards and back. Perfect. All right. So as one hand pushes forwards and back, can you take the other arm and lift up? Again, without this arm following. So one arm pushes up, one arm pushes out in front. We're still maintaining the breathing here. Okay. And we're going to switch what our hands are doing in 3, 2, 1. Switch. Which arm goes up? Which arm goes out in front? Good. All right, so make sure you have the movement first. Then if you want to make it a bit more challenging, you can try moving a little bit quicker. But we're moving with purpose, focusing on the breathing pattern. Brilliant. Good work, everybody. So we're going for more. 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're going to switch it up again. This time, one arm is swinging out to the side and back in, out to the side, back in. All right. As our one arm swings out to the side and back in, our opposite leg is going to step out and in. Good. So our arm swings out and our foot steps out. Swing out, step out, swing out, step out. We're switching sides in 3, 2, 1, switch sides. One arm swings out and your opposite leg steps forward. Once again, can we limit the movement of our torso and balance in our chair? It's helpful to balance by tightening your core muscles. Tighten around the belly. Okay, we're going to alternate this movement. And what that means is we're going to do one side and then the other. One side and then the other. Good. So one side and then the other. One side and then the other. We'll do just a couple repetitions here before we change the movement. We're still focusing on our breathing pattern. So still try to take that steady breath in, and most especially breathe out through pursed lips. That's going to be the key to helping manage your breathlessness. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to go straight out in front and lift the opposite knee and then switch. So arm pushes out, knee lifts, come back. Arm pushes out, knee lifts, come back. Good. Maintain that breathing pattern. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. Excellent. So we're pushing one arm out, lifting one knee, but before this, we swung one arm out to the side and stepped a foot forward. So can we alternate between the two movements? And what that looks like is push out, and then side, side, push out, side, side, push out, side, side, push out, side, side. There we go. This is where you guys start calling it confusing. That's okay. We are just challenging the brain here. It does not need to look perfect or even good, but we're letting our bodies and brains struggle with a new changing movement as we focus on our breathing pattern. Good. Do this just a little bit longer. Push, push, out wide, push, push, out wide. Last round, push, push, out wide, and rest. Excellent. Okay, a quick review of our recovery position to help us catch our breath. I'll turn sideways so you can better see. We lean forward through the hips, and from your hands or forearms, this position allows our respiratory muscles and diaphragm to work a little bit less against gravity. So it's a little bit easier, but don't slump. We got to keep that straight back. So this is what we'll refer to as our recovery position to help you recover your breath. And we focus on that breathing pattern. And we're going to need that because we're going to do a couple cardio intervals here where I want you huffing and puffing a little bit across a minute of work, and then we'll have 30 seconds of rest. Okay, so the first movement we'll do is marching. Okay, and I want you to remember, the more limbs that are moving, the more intense an exercise is, the faster you go, and the more range of movement, the more intense an exercise is. So you have a couple ways that you can increase or decrease the intensity. Okay, we're going to start moving for a minute in 3, 2, 1, let's march. So again, maybe moving your arms and your legs is too much for you and you need to focus on just lifting your leg. Maybe this range is too much for you and you focus on lifting one heel at a time. This is where this class is for everybody. You are in control of adding or reducing the challenge so that it is also doable. Okay. So we're about halfway. We're focused on breathing out through pursed lips. It is good for you to be breathing a little bit harder. Okay. You don't want to feel dizzy. You don't want to feel like you can't catch your breath at all. Shaky. Those are all signs that you rest. But I do want you huffing and puffing a little bit. And we've got about 5 more seconds, team. You got this. 3, 2, 1, and rest. So this is where we focus on that recovery breathing. Maybe we get into our recovery position. Okay, so 30 seconds of rest. And our next movement, we're just going to step our foot out to the side and reach our arm across. So it's a step out and reach, step out and reach. And you've got 10 more seconds of rest before we start this movement. Don't feel like you have to do it early. I just wanted to show you. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Step and reach, step and reach, step and reach. Again, let's get ourselves huffing and puffing a little bit. We want ourselves breathing a little bit harder, but we still exhale through pursed lips. Well done, everybody. Woo. There we go. Well done. You're almost there, gang. And you have 10 seconds left. Keep reaching and stepping. You're doing amazing. 3, 2, 1, and rest. So each interval that we do will probably get a little bit harder each time because it is a short rest time. Okay, so make sure if you need to rest a little bit longer than the 30 seconds, you know your body, listen to it, and join in when you are ready, okay? So our next movement, we are going to be doing some shadow boxing. So you can be punching in front of you, you can uppercut, you can go on the speed bag, punch with purpose. We're going in 3, 2, 1, let's go. And if you punch with purpose, we're going to be activating some more muscles. And so that will increase the intensity here. So punch out in front of you. Think about tightening your core a little bit, tighten those belly muscles a little bit. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. You're already halfway there. You're doing fantastic. Do what you can. The goal is to at least keep moving for the minute. Again, challenging but doable. Just do the best that you can. Breathing out through pursed lips, team. And 3, 2, 1, rest. So again, 30 seconds. We've got just 2 more intervals, and that will be our cardio portion for the day.
Jill?
Yes?
The rest section demands equal time.
That's okay. If you need to take more rest time, you are more than welcome to.
Okay.
Absolutely. But it increases the challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can keep going, you got this. If you need the extra rest, you're more than welcome to take it. Okay. All right. Let's get our feet inside of this imaginary box. Then we're going to step our feet outside of the imaginary box and then step them back in. We're going to repeat that out of the box, into the box. We're going to move our arms at the same time. And we're going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. There we go. And some of you may feel like this is a lot. Then you need to slow down a little bit. Take your time with the movement. Okay. Some of you may think it's pretty easy. I might not be getting as much out of this. Well, then you need to put more effort in. Make it more intense. Give it your full effort. Our goal is to always make the exercises challenging but doable. Okay. And we can all make that happen. And you're always welcome to ask questions. And I'm so happy to support you as much as I can. We've just got a last couple seconds here, team. 3, 2, 1, rest. Brilliant. So again, we focus right on that breathing pattern. If you're feeling like you're panting for air, remember the shape of your mouth, pursed lips, until you start to slow down. You won't be able to do your deep, slow breath when you're huffing and puffing, but that mouth shape is so important for getting all that used up air out of your lungs so that there's more room for incoming air. Okay. So we've got one last movement left. And all we're going to do here is we're going to spin our hands one over the other without the disco move, unless you really need to. Okay. If you need to make this more challenging, get your feet moving at the same time. And we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So keep up your breathing, team. Breathing out through pursed lips. Maybe you need to keep your feet still so you can just focus on your hands. There we go. So do what you can here. Go, 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 go. I am going to ask you to reverse the circles in 3, 2, 1, reverse, and go, 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 go. So do what you can here, team. Keep breathing out through pursed lips. Challenging but doable is the goal. There we go. Almost there. You've got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, so here is where we will take a little bit longer of a break. If you're feeling like I don't need a break, then I encourage you to keep gently moving, whether seated, you can move your hands, or if you're choosing to stand, you can keep stepping in place. Otherwise, our goal is to bring our breathing rate and heart rate back down, because next we're going to move on to some strength exercises. We will see who was practicing their sit to stands this summer. Woohoo!
Yeah. Woo-hoo. Not me for sure.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
I don't remember you giving us homework.
That's funny. I remember giving you homework.
Sure did.
Well, like any class, I ignore the teacher.
Oh, I missed the
Yes.
last class.
My dog ate my homework.
Oh boy.
Do you have the x-ray to prove it?
Strengths?
Nope. No x-ray.
Yeah.
Good work, team. So remember, this is the perfect time for a quick question. Otherwise, longer questions or more questions as they come up, we can certainly have time at stretch time to answer as well. But if you got a quick question about the exercises we are doing now or needing some support, this is a great time for it.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Yeah, just before class started, I'm having a very feeble heart right now, and I took a little spray of nitro, so I don't think it's a very good time to be exercising at this moment. That's why I'm just listening. But is it better to just rest while my heart is kind of weak right now?
Yeah, so if you are feeling a little more weak and you take your heart rate, and again, I'd take it, if you use just the oximeter, I would rub your hands together and take it again. Or if you've got your blood pressure machine, that works really well for an accurate heart rate. And if it's quite low, then absolutely, it's better to rest. Similar to if you are sick or just recently coming off an injury, it's better to rest than to push yourself. But it's a great idea to stay on, right? And you're with the group. And then if you find yourself struggling more, I really would encourage you to tell me. And
Okay.
even more so than encourage, just because I'm a bit bossy, I will really nicely demand it. Okay. So if you
Thank you.
start feeling worse, you must tell me. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. So that's a good example of listening to your body, and keep track of that. Again, if you got that oximeter or blood pressure, let's be taking your heart rate every 2 to 3 minutes for the next little stretch of time. Okay. So we're going to shift gears into our strength exercises. You can go ahead and grab, well, it's your choice if you're going to add to the intensity. We are going to do some sit to stands. So you may decide to do this with some sort of a weight or without, no problem. Just remember, our sit to stand is have your hands wherever, just I encourage you not to have them on your thighs. And we're going to stand up out of the seat with a lot of control, and then with even more control, slowly sit back down. Now, if standing up and down is a little out of your comfort zone or your leg strength at the moment, all we're going to do is shift forward slightly, push down through your feet like you're trying to stand up. You should feel your leg muscles tighten up, kick in, and then back off and relax. Okay? Our goal is to do 10 together. Maybe you only do 5 and then rest. That's okay too. Find your challenging but doable range. Ready? And stand with control. And then down, 2, 3. Maybe we need a little bit of balance, and stand. And then down, 2, 3. There's lots of different ways you can hold your arms. Stand with control. Down, 2, 3. Stand. And down. Really try to prevent yourself from flopping. If you find you have pain in your knees, you can offset it by leaning forward more, so you kind of get your bum sticking out a little bit. Same with as you go back down, you stick your bum out a little bit more. You'll be able to sit down with more control. Stand and down, 2, 3. Stand, down, 2, 3. Stand, down, 2, 3. Stand. And I should have warned my newcomers that counting is not my strong suit. I think that was 10.
It was. This is 11.
That was 11. There
No.
you go.
No, one more is 11.
Oh, did you do one more?
I'm standing waiting for you.
Bonus exercise. That's where you give yourself a pat on the back. Awesome work. Okay, so now we're seated. Go ahead and grab, if you haven't already, have whatever it is you're using as a weight. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do some overhead work. Holding one weight with two hands makes it a little bit easier. Holding one weight in one hand is gonna make it harder. And again, the range of motion will impact it. So if you are limited with how high you go, that's okay. Just go to where you can and then back down. Okay, so you're either two hands or one hand. And we're going to press up and then down to 3. Press up, down to 3, up, down to 3. It's helpful to exhale as we go up, down to 3, up, down to 3, up. Good. Down to 3, up, down to 3, up, down to 3, up, down to 3. Last one, up, down to 3. Now, if you were using one hand, we're going to switch hands. If you are using two hands on one weight and you felt like that was a lot of work, have a rest. If you feel like I can do some more, do some more. Other arm, we're going up, down, 2, 3. Good. Some other benefit to working just the one side at a time is our core does have to work a little bit harder to not be pulled to the side by the weight. So we try to make sure we're still sitting up nice and tall. Down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3, up, down, 2, 3. We've got a couple more, but if you are using two hands, I'd like to encourage you to get your elbows in. Okay, so tuck your elbows in just a little bit, and you'll find you're able to push a little bit more. You're kind of around your rib cage or armpit tightens up a little bit. Just gives you a bit more stability. And I believe this is the last overhead press here where we push up and down, 2, 3. Have a rest. Brilliant. Good work, team. Are we having fun yet?
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Oh, excellent. I could not be happier. This is so good. All right, we're going to put the weight in both hands. Again, seated at the edge of your chair. And we're going to work on some paddling. Okay, and when we paddle our weight, and I'll show you what that means in a moment, but it's closer to what you think. We're going to tighten our core, and we're going to make really sure that we're not twisting at our spine. So just our arms are going to work here. We ready? So we're going to hold the weight at the shoulder and not out like this. Tuck the elbow in. We're going to tighten up our core and slowly paddle the weight down to the opposite hip. Good. Then we bring it back up. We paddle down. We're thinking about tightening through the belly. Maybe clench your glutes That's your bum muscles. And that'll help provide some stability as well. So bring the weight up and bring it back down. Good. Our goal is 10 per side. We're super in control of this movement. Really think about tightening your belly muscles as we go. Good. And 3. Good. 2. Form looks good. Those of you that I can see. And 1. Brilliant. Okay, now we switch sides. Okay, and we paddle down. Paddle down. Good. Remember to maintain your breathing pattern. We don't want to be caught holding our breath. Can we maintain a steady pattern of breathing in and breathing out through pursed lips? Well done, everybody. Great control. I believe this is 7, but it might be 8. Could even be 12. 9
20,
and 10.
21. There.
I tried to take a counting course over the summer, and they told me because I failed kindergarten, I couldn't. All right, ready. Put our weight down. And we're going to do one balance exercise before we repeat all those strength exercises. You are welcome to stay seated. Remember, it's all about tightening the core, tighten up those glute muscles, and you can hold one knee up and balance from here. You can put a cushion, sit on a cushion to add to the balance challenge, or we're going to stand. Okay. All right. So again, I would have something within grabbing distance. Maybe we go behind the chair. Okay. I'll move this to the side so you can actually see my body. So again, whether you're holding on to it or gently, fingertips only, we're going to lift one knee. The higher you lift it, the harder this is going to be. And we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to switch legs. Whatever leg we're standing on, I want you to think about pushing it into the ground. You're going to feel your hip lift up slightly. That's brilliant. Okay, and then we switch again, push that foot into the ground. You should feel those hip muscles stiffen up. Hip lift slightly. 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 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 3, 2, 1. Rest. But we're going to pull our heel up towards our bum. Find the distance that you can have your heel without your hamstring cramping, okay? So pull the heel up wherever you can in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Remember, standing leg pushes down into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Have a seat. This would be a great time for a sip of water. Excellent work, team. Hopefully we're having fun here. How can you not have fun? Time spent together. This is great. Okay, remember, if you need your recovery position.
Hey, Jill,
That's
I was
perfect.
just wondering that exercise you're still just doing, is there an exercise you can do to help stop your hamstring from cramping? Because that's a problem here.
Yes. So most often the hamstring cramps in that position because of weakness. So for example, mine, and not necessarily weakness, it can be a combination of the front of your leg, that quad and hip are really tight. So that hamstring, as you bend it and this stretches, has to work harder to pull against those tight muscles. Or it can be a bit of weakness. So my surgical leg, right, cramps a lot more easily than my non-surgical leg. So little things you can do, and we don't often spend time in this position in a day, right? So one thing you can do, we've practiced it in class before, is with your heels against the chair leg, you pull, right? Or you can start with your foot more extended in front of you and drag it back. And you're not going to drag if you have a history of Baker's cysts or fluid at the back of the knees. That's where the hold and pull works better. But this movement works as well. And just practicing it. So we start with just that little bend. And then as we get more tolerant, better at the movement, we start lifting it a little bit more. Okay. That's a great question, because there's always things we can do to improve what our body is doing. Okay. All right. So we're going back to our sit to stands. Woo!
Right.
So have your hands wherever is comfortable. You can hold a weight to make it more challenging. And we're standing up or just pushing your feet in the ground, down, 2, 3. That's 1, and up. Down, 2, 3. Cynthia, give us a wave. There we go. Good work. Just checking in. And up, down, 2, 3. And up, down, 2, 3. Remember, it's helpful to breathe out as we stand. Down, 2, 3, and up. What number are we at?
12.
Nobody? 8. There we go. So this is
Too many.
9.
Yeah.
You do what you can. You always just do what you can. And 10. Down, 2, 3. Excellent. All right, we're going to grab our weight. 2 hands or 1. And we're lifting up and lowering, down, 2, 3. Up, 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 down, 2, 3. Up.
8.
Thank you. 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Last one. Up, down, 2, 3. We're going to switch arms, rest if you need to, and we're going up. 1, 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Up is 5, down, 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Up,
8,
down, 2, 3. Up, down, 2, 3. Last one. Up, down, 2, 3. Brilliant. Good work, team. Now, brain testing question for you. What did we do after the overhead press?
rows.
Paddling.
Paddle.
The paddling. Perfect. So again, we start the weight on one shoulder, paddle down. Remember, we're tightening through our belly muscles. We call that keeping our core tight, and back up. So paddle with control and up. 3. Keep up your breathing. Do not hold your breath. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right, we're switching sides, up on the shoulder and down. 1, 2,
3.
3, 4. Again, keep your tummy tight. 5. We want to keep our torso nice and strong so we're not rocking back and forth. 6, 7, 8.
10.
So again, no movement through our backs. Good. And 10. Brilliant. Good job, team. Okay. So after we did our paddling, we did our balance. So you can go ahead and put the weight to the side. I'll put it back over here. We're going to stand. All right. And then from here, we're lifting up our leg. Remember, you can do this seated as well. Please do what is challenging but doable for you. And switch. So we lift the knee. We hold. We think about pushing our foot into the ground. Switch. 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 So the last one on each side. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're going to lift a heel. So we're lifting our heel. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. And we're holding here, guys. Push that leg down. 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Excellent. Okay. Yes.
I noticed in that lifting the heel up, if the knees are aligned kept aligned, it's a little bit tougher. So if you let the knee go a little bit forward as you pick up your heel, it's easier. But
Yep, because then
aligned,
your hip flexor is helping you lift the knee.
yeah.
So excellent. If you keep your knee back, so our thighs are in line, well,
That's it.
now just your hamstring has to work.
That's it.
Exactly. That's a good observation. Well done. And a good tip for everybody else. All right. We're going to stretch. You guys did it. You made it. Fantastic work. So we're going to start with stretching the tricep and shoulder. You can bend your elbow and push your elbow up. You can wrap that arm back for a deeper stretch, whatever works best for you. And remember, stretch time is the best time to ask questions, any concerns or comments. Have at it.
Joe, what causes a cramp in your ankle?
Switch elbows. And do you mean at the front of your ankle or the back?
The back side, like just like.
And are you talking about down low, close to your heel, or higher up with your calf?
Low, right around my ankle.
Right around the ankle.
Yeah, it's usually when I'm in the morning, I'll get it, like before I get up.
And does it feel like something kind of just, it feels really stiff or like it locks up, or does it suddenly seize and grab at you?
Well, I don't know, but it's really sore. Just, if you move it, you think you're going to pass out. It's just that.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a little more unusual. I wouldn't call that a cramp, because what normally happens with a cramp, relax your arms, stretch your leg out in front of you, reach to your toes. A cramp is normally where the muscle seizes and tightens without us actively contracting it. That can be for a variety of reasons. If you're feeling it more in the joint, I could offer a speculation without even seeing you, where my first thought would be the joint kind of gets stiff and locks up. But that would be a better thing to see a physio for.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an unusual one.
Yeah, I know. I've had it more than once, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like that gets me thinking it's more the joint. And I can't really give you any helpful advice virtually on that without having a better look.
It helps sometimes if I have some or observing junior handy and I just put it all on my ankle.
Yeah, for sure. It might be, again, it might be as just stiffening first thing in the morning kind of thing where it just needs to warm up. Yeah. That's where you could just before, is it when you step down on it too?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I managed to get out, out of bed and step down on it. It's painful then too.
Right. So before you put any weight on it, when you're laying in bed, and this is good for everybody, whether you have pain in your joints or not, movement before you get out of bed is the best thing you can do. So if you had your legs out in front of you on the bed, pointing your toes and pulling them, and you start off just super, super gentle, and then you start to get a little more range where you're pointing your toes away, pulling them towards you, and then side to side. See if that helps. And that goes for everybody. That little bit of movement or a bit of a stretch signals to your body, hey, I'm getting ready to move.
Okay.
Let's switch legs.
What about when you take that stretch and all of a sudden you got a cramp in your... That's the fastest way to get out of bed, I do.
Yep. And a cramp in the calf or foot.
Yep.
So, and that's where sometimes if you're doing that big stretch and you're pointing the toes away, your muscle might not be ready for that. So it can be a little bit of dehydration, could be sometimes a little bit low on electrolytes. That's usually more to do with in the heat. So usually hydration, water. And again, gently get your foot moving before you try the big stretch.
Okay, try
As
that.
a stretch can feel quite maximal, and maximal effort when your body's still sleeping, right? That'd be like asking you to jump out of bed and do 20 sit-to-stands, right? Oh my gosh.
It could be, Joe, it could be a lack of magnesium. I get those like Charlie horses type things in the calf or in the foot.
That's what
And I rub magnesium on the back of the knee or on the foot, top of the foot, and it goes away.
Yeah, put your foot up on your shin or pull it all the way up to your thigh. Yeah, some people find a type of magnesium supplement super helpful. That's always something you want to talk to your pharmacist and or your doctor about, because some supplements can interfere with certain medications.
Right.
And you never want to be taking something where it's not actually what's helpful for you and could make things worse. So there's certainly some ideas there and which work for some people, but yeah, you always want to consult your pharmacist and or doctor first before trying any supplements. Yeah. And I no longer ever give any sort of tiny advice. No. I remember once in one of my private groups, I just made a mention about omega-3s being good for you and switch legs. And most people know like omega-3s are good for you. If you have some fish in your diet, right? Some avocados sometimes, flaxseed, it's good for you. And that's all I said. Well, geez, I had one fellow who he came back and he almost had vitamin A poisoning because he started taking cod liver oil. Because thinking, and I understand the connection, right? Cod, fish, omega-3s type of oil, perfect. No. Oh, goodness. Very, very different. So even mentioning things, don't start taking anything until you're really sure about what you're taking and you talk to your pharmacist and or doctor, because mistakes can happen. Sometimes they can be really bad.
I agree, but that's just what I have found for myself.
Totally.
Be laying on the couch or something, watching TV, and all of a sudden, one of the muscles, either on the top of the foot, will start to cramp up and like pull one of the toes. And
oh yeah,
it's like a Charlie horse, but yep. As soon as I rub the sprayed magnesium on the foot, it seems to help the muscle relax, because if
oh yeah, for sure, and it does help a lot of people. Absolutely.
The muscles relax.
For sure. And what those stories tell us is it gives us a guide on what to ask, what might be good for us as well. So going, hey, do you think magnesium would be appropriate for me, helpful for me, and stuff like that. Okay, team, we're going to take a breath in together. Put your hands wherever you would like them to be, but nice and slow. We're going to breathe in and out. Nice and slow. And once more, breathe in. Out, nice and slow. All right. Give yourselves a pat on the back for getting here today. It was so wonderful to see you all. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
I hope to see you all on Thursday.
It's good to be back.
Yep.